Strange noises, eerie events, phantom apparitions. Who would actually seek out the things that go bump in the night?
I'm Laura Laddick, and I'm a ghost hunter.
She's your ordinary office worker by day, but an insatiable hunger for hard evidence has her moonlighting as a paranormal investigator.
Can you tell us your name?
Do ghosts really exist? The truth is out there, and Laura Laddick has made it her life's endeavor to find it. You could say she has a very spirited obsession.
No job too big, no fee is too big, we're ready to believe you.
That's the first thing that people think, oh, you're one of those Ghostbusters, and that we show up with proton packs and jumpsuits, and no. I think the addiction of all of this, you know, it's like getting on a roller coaster, you know it's going to scare you, and when you're going down like at a 90-degree angle, you're going, why did I do this? But you survive it and you get off and you're thinking, that was awesome, I got to do it again. And ghost hunting it's like that. It's exciting, but it's also, you've opened this can of worms, and you answer one question, but you've also created 6 more that need to be answered. I got started with a keen interest in the paranormal in childhood, actually. My father turned me on to Twilight Zone. From there, I actually spent my childhood even in haunted places. It was kind of like really being destined for this. When I was about 14, I had to finish out 8th grade in this haunted house. I had the very tiny room at the top of the stairs, and because it was so old and the ceilings were a lot lower, my father being tall, he's like 6'1", every night when he would be coming upstairs after watching the news, there was that landing, and his head would hit it. And I got used to hearing, you know, like up 3 steps, bump, 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 boom, and then he'd continue up the stairs. So one night, I remember laying in bed, and I could hear heavy footsteps coming up the stairs, and I thought, oh wow, Dad's going to bed now. But I never heard him hit his head. Then they stopped right outside my door. I remember laying there thinking, something's not right, that's not my dad.
Her haunted history led Laura on a quest for solid proof. In 1993, she founded the New Jersey Ghost Hunter Society, a group of volunteer paranormal investigators who help homeowners determine if their spooky experience is really supernatural.
Gosh, I've never totaled up how many investigations I've done. It has to have been at least close to 100. I mean, between traveling, you know, on our own, places that we've stayed at, dined at, you know, using that as a disguise to really investigate the place. But, you know, that's how trips get planned in our family. The skeptics come along and actually say, oh, there's no such thing, and part of me, I get that little inner smile of like, well, you're next.
Humbug, I tell you, humbug!
Because the ghosts like flew into that, and they just like, oh, he's the one. We're gonna go after him because they have to make their point. No, we do exist.
Now, do you believe in me or not? I do.
Believers, to me, are a little more dangerous because they just have this blind faith, like, oh, it's there. I would say I have a healthy dose of skepticism. Am I obsessed with this? I'm passionate about it from a research perspective and wanting to know more and get some kind of proof. To me, obsessed translates to like, you can't do anything but. And I know I do everything else that I'm supposed to do in life, whether it's, you know, being on the job full-time and being a mom to my kids, and definitely the kids have always taken priority. Well, there's probably been an ex-husband who felt like he took a back seat all the time to this. The ultimate goal is a full-body apparition. That's something I've been after since, I guess I've been doing this since 1993, so it's been about 13 years now doing this. Still haven't gotten one. So EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, that's one of my favorite evidence to collect. It's great when you get the ghost chiming in. What you're about to hear is one that I got on Sachs Covered Bridge, which is out in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. And then I heard this and it just sent chills up my spine, so I'll play this for you. It still kind of freaks me out every time I hear that. EMF is electromagnetic field strength. You know, it's the magnetic energies. People tell me that 0.2 to 0.4 milligauss is more of your paranormal range. We do use that to track, you know, that type of energy to see if it's falling within that range. An orb is a ball of light that seems to be the most common or easiest way for, if you want to call it a ghost, to move around. There's a lot of newbie ghost hunters really mistake a lot more for having captured a ghost or an authentic orb than they really have, because, you know, it's dust, it's pollen. Well, we did an investigation at a restaurant locally, and they've had some experiences. They've gone through quite a few busboys who witness a full-body apparition, basically don't come back to work there. And we were called in to investigate, and we did capture some pretty neat orbs. I can show you what they look like. This was one, it was just kind of moving a little bit, but we were able to capture it. And then we've got these two faint ones. This is the one room where the full-body apparition of a woman has been seen sitting, staring at the fireplace. So every ghost hunter has their toolkit or their ghost gear. Temperature is pretty important. You definitely want someone on your team always measuring and tracking the temperature, because we have found there's anywhere from a 20 to 40 degree drop in temperature when something significant or paranormal, you know, significantly paranormal is taking place. So a Raytech thermal scanner is what I use for measuring temperature. You can actually point and know exactly where you're taking a temperature. Moving on, I have found the camcorder, now the digital state, is really my favorite tool. Sometimes you realize that's how, you know, you get the blurb or something so close to your lens, you realize that's how close it was, you know, and that's pretty neat. If I'm going to do just straight dedicated shots, I love this little Nikon. This other little tool is great. Sony just makes them smaller and smaller. It's a digital audio recorder, and this is the mainstay for your EVP collection. And of all this equipment too, there are pieces that I don't personally have, but different team members, especially my tech guru guy Brian, he has an EMF meter. And of course, your safety stuff. You have to have your flashlight, your handy dandy flashlight. Of course, you want to have your media, so you always have plenty of discs and stuff for your equipment. Your extra batteries, yeah, you definitely don't want to be caught without extra batteries, because it just takes one spirit to go right by your equipment and it just sucks the energy right out of them. I mean, I guess it's like a power hit for them. They're operating at such a high frequency, that's why we don't see them, we don't hear them, but our equipment does. And they draw off of certain things to try to learn how to slow themselves down and manifest. So I think it's neat to see that the community is grown.
It's grown so much that Laura helped start the National Ghost World Conference, where folks who share her obsession can trade stories, buy gear, and hear from experts.
It's interesting to see how large this is. I mean, just if you take just the New Jersey Ghost Hunter Society, I think at last count we're at 414 members. And then you go across the board and you start adding up every state having several organizations and members and teams. You realize, wow, there's probably a lot more people who really don't come out and say, I do this, or maybe don't actively ghost hunt, but who are for some reason fascinated with it. For me, I mean, it was definitely a passion of mine and an interest and something I love to do, and it was great to find out that there were other people that liked it, and people that came to me at every meeting as we were starting saying, I can't believe you guys really do this, I can't believe you're here, I can't believe I have some place to come to. The next investigation is a revisit, probably a revisit of a revisit, but can't get enough of it. It's Eastern State Penitentiary, and it's located in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.